All right, Tony, I think it's your time. Take it away, my friend.
Okay, so here we are. Okay, so I'm happy to see you there. We are here to talk about plugins, and I will start to thank you to be there and to thank Brexling to give me the opportunity to do those lives. And plugin is a first-class citizen in CLN implementation, and one of the key part of the plugin is that they can be written in any languages. So this is really amazing, and we are going to the talk of today is less about using Python and the library PyLN client to do it. We are going to do this in the next episode. Today we are going to write a plugin in Python, but in pure Python without any help of a library, to really understand the plugin mechanism. And so with what we're going to do today, you can transpose it and use it in any of your preferred languages. So let's go. So with plugin, we can do several things. So we can register a new method that we can call with the Lightning CLI, and we can also add hooks or add notification. Today we are going to add a method that we call myplugin, and here you can see that this is around 86 line of code, and if you do it with PyLN client, it's 21. So really today we want to see how it works. So the goal is here L1-CLI is just an alias for Lightning CLI with the directory, and here is how we are going to start our plugin once it's done. And what we want to do is when we call it here with the -k that is for calling with the key, is we want it to return that JSON object. So with the ID of the node we are adding. So this is interesting to show the ID, because this will force us to talk via Unix sockets to the node to get that information. Here, that part are the options, like you can see in the top of in the previous command line, that this is the options that we pass when we start the plugin. So this will help us to understand how we can get the option that the user give when he starts the plugin. And this last part is about the parameters that are passed when we use that new method that we add. So this is what we're going to do, and we jump directly in our terminal. So here you can see that we don't see it, but I'm running like CLN 23.02.2, and I'm Python 3 10.6 and Ubuntu. So here we can also see the directory. So we have the file that we are going to work on, and a script that we're going to use to facilitate the development. And here it's just the Lightning repository. So we start by running by starting startup. So we are going to start two nodes running on the rec test using the startup script provided in Lightning repository. So here we can do that. Start LN. So this is going to start Bitcoin in rec test mode, the chain rec test, and we have L1 CLI and L2 CLI to talk to the two nodes that we have. So here, to see what that means, to have the thing clear, is that the alias is really to say that the directory of that node is at slash temporary slash L1 rec test. So we have that. Let's see if we really are running something. So if we do get info, we should obtain some information about the node if it is running. So we do that. We have an answer. It is running. We can see there that the Lightning directory is the one that we wanted. If we go a little bit here, we have the node ID that we are going to want after. So now, what is a method or a plugin that we have? These are sub-processes started by Lightning D. So there are sub-processes of Lightning D that communicate with Lightning D via their standard output and standard input of via Unix socket. So what does that mean? Is that the output of our plugin will be received by Lightning D in its input, and the other way, the output of Lightning D when communicating with our plugin will be directed to our input. So let's see. Right now, we're going to list Lightning D. Okay, so Lightning D. So we have two processes that correspond to our two nodes, and we are going to look at the first node because we are going to do everything with the first node. And here we have the tree that I was telling you just right now of the the plugin. So here pay, when we use the command pay, this is a sub plugin, plugin, and is here. As you see that this is a sub process of the Lightning D process. Now we are talking today about how to say that we're going to we talk about dynamic plugin that can be started when the node is running. So we can we have that command that we can use to start, stop, and list a plugin. So I just show the help. So here we have all the details that we can need if we want to. And now we can list the plugin, and we are going to have all the plugins that are listed that we've seen before as a sub-processes of Lightning D when using PS3. So okay, so it was right now just to give us a presentation of where we are. There are sub plugin that added like that methods, new methods are sub processes. And now let's try to start our plugin that we still haven't seen. It is. So here we are. Maybe I think it's enough. It's big enough. So this is it's our script that we are going to work on. So there are some boilerplate, but almost none of this. and we use those library. And let's just try to start that script with nothing. Okay, so we are running nothing, just importing library. So how does that look like? So L1 CLI, and we want to plugin start, and we want to start. The way I want to do the live is to show how we can get information from CLN to understand the system and the message, the error message that it gives us, and they can lead us to better solution and to write better the program. Because if we write everything the right way at the beginning, maybe we don't have the opportunity to learn as much as we can when we give a wrong input to our system. So here we go. We are going to not do it right in the first place. So here we give the name of the plugin, but it's the path of the plugin. So if we write that, we are going to have an error, because it will try to, as this is a path, a relative path, it will try to do it against that path. So here we have no executable, because we don't have this. So okay, right. This was as expected, and now we print the working directory, and normally we will be able to have another information. We are going to get some problem with this one, just because our myplugin.py isn't right now executable. So this is what we get here. So we see not executable. So what we have to do is to make it executable. So we make it executable, run again that command, and we are going to have another information, because at the plugin, as the script myplugin.py had nothing in it, it's doing nothing. It won't work. So we are going to have the information, the following information, that is the one that we really want. So we can see there, so exited before replying to get manifest. What does that mean? That means that when we run the plugin, there are communications that is done at the beginning to get the plugin working, in order to after do the logic of the plugin, the business logic of the plugin. And there are two communications. That one that Lightning D send us a get manifest. So we at the really beginning, and we have to send back the manifest where we define some of the method and the option that we expect, and we give us back an init request that we have to answer, and the init request told us that Lightning D is ready to talk with us via Unix sockets, and then we do the work. So let's go to this plugin. So first thing, the thing that is happening is that the input and the output goes back and forth between Lightning D and the plugin. So we can't use the standard output normally. I mean, if we do it, we won't see absolutely nothing. So let's do that, and we go back to our terminal. We do that, and maybe we might expect to see something but we get the same thing, and we have no output. This is because the output has been sent sent to Lightning D. So now, if we don't have any way to print out things, stuff to program, to me it's a problem. So here it's just a little helper. So the function printout that we are going to use in order to get information and to print object when we need to know something. So I don't use a debugger. So this is a way I use, and we are going to use today to understand our system. So when we want to understand something about the system, maybe to know what are the communication from Lightning D with us on what does it send to us, we're going to write those things in that file. So temporary myplugin. So here, this is just to say we remove the files each time we restart the plugin, and this is a function that we use to do that. So let's try it. So far, I hope I will look at the screen. Okay, everybody's with me? We're okay? Okay, so I continue. So we are going to get something. So right now, let's go back to our terminal. We try to start, we get nothing, but now we can do something. That is, we can look at myplugin.out here. So we make it a little bit bigger, and we have foo. Okay, so these are the things that we have. At the bottom, we have the myplugin out. So this gives us something back. So let's continue. And now we are going to start to do something interesting, is that we want to answer to the get manifest. So when we start the plugin, Lightning D sends us the get manifest, and the answer that we give is to define our option and the method. So or to receive, we are going to receive something. So the request that we received it in our input. So we read the line, we get it, and now let's just use printout to print that request. Okay, so we saved it, we go back to our terminal, we run it. Okay, and now we should have something on myplugin.out. Okay, so in the editor that I'm using, each time the file change in the disk, this is reflected in the editor. So here is what we get. Okay, so we are going to save that into some files that we can call foo here. Okay, so we're going to have it maybe in no, in JSON mode. So we have this, and we pretty print it. So here we are in the files foo. It's just a kind of something somewhere where we put some output that we have that we can keep with us along this video and along the work that we are doing. So we print myplugin here. So we see what we have done. We've read in standard in, we've read the first line, and we have print out there, and this is what Lightning D gives us. So here we have some parameters of the configuration, the name of the method, which is get manifest, and to show just something. So why do we have that? So temporary L1 rec test, and we can go to the config files. So here, this is the config files, and as in the config file, we have a low deprecated API false. This is why we get that here. So, okay, this is fine. So we are doing those things. Now we are going to answer to that question with that manifest. Okay, so this is what we first, what we are going to do is to use here the reload file. So this is just a script here that just do what we do manually, that is stopping and starting the plugin. Here we have the name of the plugin. Here this is L1 CLI, so the variable that this is what we have at the beginning. What we do there is that if the plugin is in the list of the plugin, we stop it, and here we restart it. So we're going to use this to have the ability to just here, instead of running to go back to the terminal and to do this manually, we just use enter, that is a utility that watches the file that we've listed with ls, and each time a file change, we reload. Okay, so this will normally help us with to get feedbacks more quickly. And so we can go to plugin to this one. We have it here, and maybe in the other window we can myplugin. We can see something that if we print foo here. Okay, we save, and you see at the left this stop and start the plugin again. So we can now just save, and this will stop and start as we want. And the thing that we can do is to put, in the other window, myplugin.out. So we have it like that. So at the bottom we have myplugin.out, and at the top we have the thing that we change. So let's say that we comment out print at request, and now this restart, and after a moment we see myplugin.out change. Okay, so we have that. Let's go and do our manifest, because we are here to go further, and the manifest. So here in the manifest, this is what we written. This request ID is the ID that Lightning Disk sends us. So we are going to need to get that ID first from that request here. Okay, and in the result, this is where we define, or this is where we declare the information about our plugin. So here we are going to we want a dynamic plugin. The option, so we can go back to our not, and here we see that we want the ability to have one option that we call foo opt, and this is how we do it here. So name, foo opt, type string, default bar. So if we don't provide at startup that option, this will be used with bar. And here in RPC method, this is where we define our method. We are defining only one that is called myplugin. We have the name, usage, and the description. So here is our Python object. If we change, we said we should have an error because request ID here, rec ID isn't defined. So let's see if we see the error there. Okay, so we are in the terminal that is always running. So here, this is how we when we do the error at that stage of the program, the error show there. So here, a name error, rec ID is not defined. Okay, it's normal. We didn't define it, and this variable we get it from the request. So if we go to foo, okay, so this is that ID foo. This is what we get from. This is a request we got from Lightning D, and we want that ID. So we just have to JSON load. We load the request, and now we get the ID. It should be good. So let's see the terminal here. So we have the terminal. So we haven't saved yet. We saved, and now this is running. We no longer have this error, but we have to send manifest. The manifest. So here, to send it to Lightning D, what we have to do is to send it via our standard output. So everything that we write on the standard output will be sent to send there. So here we have we write. What do we want to write is JSON dumps. How do we name it? It's his name manifest. Okay, so manifest. So this is going to write it here. System std out, and we flush. So we have that, and before we save this, something that we should have done there is that if we read correctly the Lightning D RPC main page, it is written that that Lightning D communicate with end the communication with to a new line. So here we've read the first where we have the object, and here we have to read the other new line to get going to what we are doing. So okay, so I saved it. I wanted to save it after to see in direct the thing. But now one thing interesting. So we are in the terminal. We saved after sending via the standard output, and right here we have another information. So let's do that this way. So we just run it one. We don't have to stop it because it's not working. So we start, and now we have here exited before replying to init. Okay, cool. So we are going further in the creation of our plugin. So let's do it running by itself here, and we go back there. And now we received the manifest. We send back a response with the declaration of the method that we want to add, and we have to do it something similar here. So now we are here, another request, which is going to be the one that the init request. So do we have other? We no longer want this one print out. This one either. And we are here. We read. We saved, but now we want some information on the request, on the init request. Writing that, we are saying, okay, please. So we are here. So at the right, we have my plugin out, where we print the output, and we say, okay, please tell me what does look like the init request from Lightning D. So I will save, and we normally see something there. Okay, great. So this is what Lightning D sent us. We copy and we go back to our file foo here. So this first one was the manifest request from Lightning D. This one that we have, and we prettify like this, is the init. So now what is telling Lightning D is telling that, okay, so I'm ready, I received, and now we can start talking together, and we have you have the information that you might need to do those things. So here we have in the parent here, sorry, so here we have the parent of the method. Here we have the method init, and first we have the option. And great, this is the option that we defined, and we have the configuration. So this one is really important in some way, because this is the one that with the Lightning D and RPC file that will help us to communicate directly and to get the node ID. If we don't have that, we can't do that. And here, something that we can notice is the shape of the ID. So if I'm not wrong, this is also something that can be read in Lightning RPC man page, Lightning D RPC man page. So this first, before the 2 colon, is to say, okay, so we start. Sorry, so this is Lightning D that sends the request. This is a init method, and if I'm not wrong, the number there is just to have some unicity and uniqueness on the ID, but I'm not sure. So correct me if it's wrong. But now, okay, so we have that, and what we need to answer to the init, we are just going to as we have nothing to special to tell to Lightning D at the init stage, at our init stage. We are just going to get that that ID and answer. We are done. We are okay to continue. So let's go back to myplugin.py. So we are here, and we have to constrict an answer. So an JSON-RPC answer. So the result is going to be nothing. Still, we need the request ID. So this is the same thing here. So we can do that like that. We no longer need this one. Okay, so we can do that, but as after we are going to need information that are here, the parameter on the RPC file. I know beforehand that we are going to need that JSON object, so we do it right now. So here we put this JSON request, and we don't call this a manifest, but init. And here now we do the same thing here, that is to answer to Lightning Dish by giving it the init. So that time I didn't save right now because I want, this is cool to see the thing happen live. So normally, if we did the thing right, we should see the list of the plugin at the right. So we saved, and we have the list of the plugin. So because we've answered, we have no error, and so far we answered to the get manifest and to the init, and with that we've declared the method that we want to do, and now this is what we have. So let's do it again. One thing is that if we can start it like that, and we see here that it is listed, but in some way it's not working so far, and we can see that right now. So we should expect this to do something, but a no command, myplugin. Okay, why is that? Okay, so we go now to the next step of our journey. So we go back to this reloading, and here on myplugin. So this is because after we've sent the init response, we just shut down the script because we are no longer doing anything. So now we have to enter in the kind of infinite loop. It does input output here. So in sys.stdin. So now we're doing that. We say, so we did the preliminary, and now we are listening to incoming requests. So we have to do some of the things. So now let's say we have something here. So same way as before here, we are going to do this because of the end line. So I should have written this before. So here we are, we saved. If we go to the terminal, this worked correctly. Now, what we're going to do is we open a new terminal. So we shut down this one because we need the alias is defined in this one, the first one, and now we go to the second one. We have that. We can go back to this one. We go back to the to this one, and we might want to do something like that. CLI myplugin, and now this is hanging out. I don't know how to say that, but what's happening is that we are as we are in an infinite loop that is doing nothing. So when we run L1 CLI myplugin here, we receive something, but we are here, and we are not doing anything. So let's see, as we did before, let's print out the request. So we want information. So just a moment, I will see. Okay, so there are questions. I will answer the question after, and I will follow with that thing. So here we are going to see what we have in that request. So I don't save. I go back to the second terminal, and now what we are going to do something to just work for us. So why true? The same way as we are reloading in the other terminal each time we saved. Here, what we want is not it's every 1 second. Yes, every 1 second we want to run the command CLN myplugin. So that way, if we saved and the plugin had been reloaded, we are going to have something that change here. So this is running, but as we do nothing is happening. Now, myplugin.out. So this is the output that we print with printout. Now we saved and we want to see normally, okay, great. So when it works, it's great. So this is what we received, and this is what we're going to look there. So first here we have the init, the get, first the manifest, then the init, and now let's look at this new one. So the method is myplugin. So this is great because we received that, and we know that we want to do something with myplugin. And here we passed so terminal, the second terminal. Here we passed nothing in. We passed no argument, so no parameter in the command line. So we have no params here. And here, something that is interesting to note is the way the ID is written. So this is CLI that started the request by sending the method myplugin, and CLN received it, and here we see that it passes past the myplugin methods to us, the request to us. So now we have to do something, send it back to CLN as to Lightning D, and then something else will happen. So we need that ID as we needed it before. So let's do the same thing. So here, JSON request. Okay, go there. So we have it here. So okay, so here we have the JSON request. We have this, and we want to construct some result and a response. So the response. No, see how to do the response. Here we have the init. Okay, so we're taking this one. Okay, so we are going to construct the response that we want, the request ID, and the result here. We have nothing, but maybe we can put a foo. And this is almost everything. Now we might want to, yes, to send it to the output. So here we are going to write that response the same way that we did before. So we write to std out the response, and we should see, let's see this one. Okay, so this one, normally if we saved, we should see something happen cool. So you do you see at the right? So as we are running it forever, what we get is we read the result here is what we send that is printed there. So maybe if it's not clear here in that terminal, as the plugin is running and working, this is what it returned. So what time is it? So we have some other stuff to do, so I will continue. We're not almost done, but we've done a great part of the job on the organization, and now if we can call it again and again and again, this will give us that. So let's go back to this, and we can see there. Sorry, so here we have this, and if we change to some object foo par here, we get the object of the result. So now we put the result here because we are going to construct some different result. So is it still working? So as we are using the same, maybe we don't see it. So yes, this is working as we want. And remember, what do we want is this is okay. So this is the result that we want. Okay, so we can take that result, we put it here, and now we have some a little bit of work left. So we should see something at the bottom. Okay, so we see it. So we have it maybe a little bit bigger. Okay, so now we have that, and we are going to continue. So let's what can I will just ask you a question, and please answer in the chat. I think that I need 25 more minutes to do it entirely. Is it okay, or do I have to stop at 1 hour?
No, you could keep going. This is great.
Okay, super cool. So thank you for that. So we are going to do, because this is so cool, and I really want to show every aspect that we have, because with all those aspects, you really can do it in the language that you want, because all that we are doing has nothing to do with Python. This is really the beauty of CLN. So this is really super cool. So now we are going to get those options. Okay, after we are going to get those parameters, and then we are going to do the communication via Unix sockets to get that node ID. So remember, here we are in the IO loop, but we can there we were in the init. Okay, so in the init, Lightning D gave us really interesting information that we have in our file foo. So this is the last one, and this is here. So here, this is what we this is exactly the request that we have here. So at that point here, anywhere we can get the information that we want. That is first the CLI parameter. So here, to get that information, we have to have those one param option foo opt. Okay, so we take them. Maybe we are not going to mess there, and we can do something here. So we have we are going to call them foo opt, the variable, and what how to get this is JSON request, and we have to pass some the path here that is given there with those one. We do that, and now we can here Normally, we should have the right thing, but as I never trust, I prefer not to trust any of my thinking, but more the communication with the computer. We are going to just here. We have my plugin out. We are going to printing out this one to be sure that this is what we want. Just to change something here first, to see what we get. So it's working, and now we can pass foo opt, and we should have bar. So okay, we have bar. So a little bit of time. So now we can use this one here. We no longer want this one. And in the result here, we can use foo opt. Okay, so this is something that we have. And let's go into the second terminal that is running forever those things. We stop. The other terminal, we also stop it. And we haven't done it yet. This one, which is L1, we are going to stop. Sorry, maybe we have it before. Okay, we have it there. We are going to stop it because it is running and working. We stop it, okay, successfully. And now we start it, but what we want is really to start it with a different option. So when we start dynamically plugins that way, and we want to pass option at the end, we have to use the dash key here to pass it with care. And now start is a sub command, and here this is plugin equal, and we go at the end, and right now we can do something. So let's do something wrong and write foo like that, because I really like to give a wrong input to the system, because I want to know about the system. So it will normally, if we do that, it will tell us, no, this is not an option that you've declared. Okay. So this is not that. So let's try foo bar. And yes, this was also an information, but not the what that I wanted. So the one that I want is just this one, which is really important, is that a node parameter. So we didn't declare it, so it can't work. But we declared foo opt, and let's write something a little bit different here. And this is working. So now go back to the other terminal. We call it once, and we should see something different here. Cool. So here this is a way that the user can modify in some way if you give it the opportunity via option at starting the plugin. So here we were just showing those stuff in the answer, but we can do stuff with that. It's just that just to see the stuff. So we have two things left. So we go back here. So I think that we are going to do this again. So we run forever. We go back to my plugin here, and okay, let's see the CLI parameters. So the CLI parameter, we get them on the other terminal. We get them here. Okay, so at each call here we can pass anything. So nothing changed because we don't do something with them. But when we catch those parameter is in the IO loop. So here. So now, and we see, how can we see those? Okay, see, yes, sorry. So something cool that we can do is here I uncomment print out the request, because in the request, if I'm not wrong, full there we go to the last one, and here, okay, here we have the parameters, the parents, and there's nothing because what we've done so far is to not put anything there. So okay, this is great. So now we can do the request here, and we print out, we saved, so the thing changed, and now we can, let me think what I want to show you. Huh? Okay, I got it. So we want my plugin out, and we also want the terminal, this one here. Second, because we are going, so if we run it, we see at the bottom the thing that happened, and we are interested in the parents. So here we have that. Let's pass two param in order without keys. So here we have it there. So you can see. So this is a list of params, and now we can do something else. We can pass them with key foo1 bar 1, foo2 bar 2, and we run, and we see it. So the last one, huh? I hope you see, and we have the parameter passed in an object in params. So okay, so this is great. So now we can go back to run forever when while we are working. This is going to it should print. Okay, so yes, maybe. Okay, so this is going to work. It don't stop. So let's go back to myplugin.py here, and what we want is okay there. So we want the params that we have in JSON and this JSON object, and now here we are just going to pass. Sorry, so I was going to make a mistake. I catch it just CLI param here, and we return CLI. Sorry. CLI params with an S. We saved it, and now we should have something. So let's go back to this one and run those things. So here, okay, so we are almost done. So we have done the option, we have done the option at startup, we have done the parameters that is given at the command line. So let's see something else. Now this one we should see directly the list. So we have the list, and the last one with the key is this one, and we're okay. Great. So now the fun part. Well, everything. I hope you're having fun and learn some stuff. If there a better way to do some of the things that I'm doing, please let me know. So in the comment or in the comment of the Core Lightning communities or via mails. But now we are going to do the socket part. So this one is really super cool. So the socket part. Let me just breathe a moment, not 10 seconds to go back to the game. Okay, so here in we are there, and what we want now is this one. So we want to request for get info, and really what we just want is the ID. Okay, so this is the only thing that we want. And now to do that, we have to communicate in myplugin.py with Lightning via Unix sockets, on top of which we communicate with JSON-RPC. So the file, this one, we need to use this files rectest and Lightning RPC. So here we can see, so files give us which type of file is that. So this is a socket files. To talk to the node 1, we can use that socket. And we are going to see how to do that at the terminal using netcat, but after with Python, to see that really it has nothing to do with Python. This is really how CLN is implemented, and it uses Unix sockets that we can do everything we want. So let's myplugin.py. Maybe we can start with something like that, or maybe do we have? No, okay. So we are going to need to write some requests. So here, what we are going to do is there we are going to need to write a request, and the request we name it info, get info, request ID. Here, this is not we have to pass an ID that should be unique, but right now we don't care. We just pass someone. This is no longer a result. What we have to pass is a method that we send, and the method that we want is get info. We have to pass the params, and like we've seen there, we are not passing any params. Okay, so L1 CLI get info, we don't pass any params, so we are just going to do that empty. Here we are just writing stuff. Nothing has happened so far. We open another file that we call bar, because I just want to have some scratch text files to do stuff. So we passed that in JSON mode. Okay, so go back bigger. Okay, so we have that, and let's see what we can do with that. We go back to our terminal, and right now we have that file, that socket files, and we can use netcat dash upper U to Unix socket, the type of connection. Now we passed the request that we are doing to Lightning to the Lightning D. We press return. Oh, cool! So this is working. I don't know why I'm saying that loud, but it's always cool when things are working. So here you can see. So we start with JSON-RPC, the ID, and the result. Here the result is really what we get when we do L1-CLI get info. So this is fine, but this is a moment where we can see something else. That is, I think that this is something that you can read in directly in the plugin documentation, but there is another parameter that we can pass to to the request that will be interpreted in the Lightning Deep part. So we just want ID. It doesn't matter in our case. Why? Because the payload is really low, so it's not a big payload, but maybe it can be bigger. So I want here to show you that we can do that too. So let's go back here and write this. So true for JSON is like that. Okay, so this is just to play with text, and we go back to our terminal here, and now we do that request to Lightning D via Unix sockets, and what does it gives us? Answer us, yes. So this is what we wanted to see right now. We did it at the terminal using the utility netcat nc, and now let's I want to say let's do it for real in Python. So here, because this is not we are not here to try to see how to use the sockets in Python. I have just a snippet here that can help us to do that. So we are not going to put it here, but after get info here. Okay, so I haven't saved because this is going to raise some error, because there these ellipses need to be filled with something else. So here, what? So let's you see that this is the same syntax as we did when we open a file and want to write stuff. Here, this is to say that this is a Unix socket. S.connect, this is to connect, so we have to provide here the Unix the RPC as a socket as of corresponding to the node 1. Here we are going this is in byte. We are going to send the getinfo request that we written there, and here we just recuperate that information that we are going to use here in our results. So another thing that I want to do is no, we are not going to have error because here it's not running. Okay, fine. So let's comment that just in case. And now the thing that we want that we add at the beginning in the init things, this is when we get the options, but this is also where we get the information to build our socket file. So let's go to the full files where we have the information and the shape of the thing that we want, and this is the thing that we want here. Okay, we want that also part of parent. So let's take that, and here we go back to my plugin here. Let me just say, just look at the first terminal. This one, okay, so this one is still running. So if we save stuff there and we print out, we are going to have those information. So right now it's not super interesting what I'm doing. It's just that it must be done. So we do it the better we can. And now we want RPC file. Here, this is JSON-RPC, and we want those variables here equal, and we are in Python, so we need to use, like this. So as said before, maybe this is right, maybe this is wrong. So let's look at this and print foo. Okay, this is working as we want. And now what we can do is to take those 2, 1. So sorry. We have them. So if we save this, okay, sorry, so I don't know why I say sorry, but yam, because this is better. It looks better like that. Okay, so here we see this is what we have. So we are going to just join those two stuff, two information here to get to have our socket file. So we have our socket files, which is okay, which is this one and this one, and we do os pass join, and this should work, and we are going to do the same to be sure. So normally we see that we are not wrong, but now we are sure that we are not wrong. So here this is the socket file, so we can use it easily. And now we are going to use that socket files there, here. But before we saved, we are going to have this. So, and we want my plugin. I don't like this like that. So sorry, a lot of movement, but it's just that we are there. We are going to save at the top. This is myplugin.py, and at the better seen like that. This is the terminal where we are running this kind of stuff. So we are making errors to tell us what we have to do. So okay, fine. So now here we can pass the socket. Oh, no, sorry. Okay. Okay. Sorry. So we don't have any errors. I wanted I just like to see errors because it's to me it's indicate that I'm doing something that if I fix it, it works. So this is normal because here we are in the IO loop, and we need to have here the call. So we need to call forever the plugin at the command line, because if not, we're not running in that. So if we start normally, we should see an error. Up, cool. This is what I expected. So this is an error because we are using ellipses here. So line 85 s.connect. We have to fix this, and we can fix that with socket file. So now we are going to have another error. So we go from one error to another. So here we see, so this is a send all error. So here we want to pass, how we called it, is here get info. So if we pass get info as JSON, so we dump it, the get info up. I like error, so let's do more errors. So here the error is that we need a byte-like object, not a string. Okay, this is fine. So we want encoding. Sorry, so here UTF-8. So now this should work as we see here. So this is working, and now in get a response, we have the answer, and so really to have an idea, we are 5 minutes away to end, really. So just another printout here. So, sorry, so not back. Printout because now we have this answer, but we might want to see how it looks like. So I don't know you, but I want to know what is a get info response, and as maybe this is an object that is not a string, we're just using its representation. So we see, okay, cool. So now, as you see that it doesn't stop because we are running forever, and we have this thing that it is exactly what we get when we use NC and Netcat before. So we have a result. We want the ID in that result, and this is what we are going to do. So here, no longer want that. We want, oh, I messed up a little bit. JSON loads, and maybe it's not enough because, yes, so we want result because we are talking RPC, JSON-RPC. This is done like that. Let's out this one, and we restart. And now we are seeing just the IDs that are printed forever. So we can use that ID like that. Here, node ID. Here, we can change that with node ID. And let's go. I haven't saved because I want to see it and to control what we are going to do. So we saved. We go back to terminal 2, and normally right now, if we run this one, we should get the good ID. So is it the right ID? Well, we can figure that way. So L1 CLI get info, and we pass jq.id.r, and yes, so it's working. And we can just maybe add some bar1, bar2, because this is, if we go back to note, this is something that we wanted here to have. So foo1 and foo2, we have it. So just 2 minutes to resume this. What we worked. So it's 100 lines of code. So it's not under their codes that there are lines that, no, 100 lines. So it's not so much. So here, this is just to print out stuff because we can't use standard output to get feedback. First, we have the get manifest communication with Lightning D that starts. So okay, we received it in a standard input. We get the ID to answer. We create the manifest response where we declare that this is dynamic plugin. We have the one option for opt with the default value, which is bar. We define one method, RPC method, which is called myplugin. Here, we send that information, that response to Lightning D via writing to standard output. Now, Lightning D say, okay, I'm fine. You answer me the get manifest. We can go on and on with the init, and I will tell you that I'm ready to communicate with you via Unix socket with on top with the protocol JSON-RPC. We recuperate the request as a JSON because we use it after. We take the ID. Here, we write the init as we have almost nothing to say or to tell. We just say, okay, we're fine with with your init request, and we send it via writing to the standard, to our standard output that feed the standard input of Lightning B. There, these are the information that we have in the init request. So the option foo opt, that is option at startup. Here we construct the socket files that we use after, and now we enter the IO loop that read in the standard output. We get the JSON request, the same thing, the request ID to be able to answer to this. The parameters, because we want to have the parameter printed back. Here, this is the get info request that we do via Unix socket exactly here to get the node ID. So we used get info, but we could have asked for anything else, any method that Lightning D is exposing. We construct the result, and this result is exactly what we see at the command line, at the output of the command line. We construct the response with the right request ID and the result. And here we write to our standard output to send our message to the Lightning D, and we can go on and on and on. And we are done with what we wanted to do. And next time, in 2 weeks, we are going to use PyLN this time, and this is a really great API that we almost have nothing to do to have a working plugin. So it will be super fun. And last thing I wanted to add is I think that Shahana is presenting the 31 of this week, the Breeze app, if I'm not wrong. Maybe this is that. And there is the open meeting next Monday. So I started attended a few months ago, a few weeks ago, and it's there's a lot of things to learn there. So please join and ask question. I won't be the guy who is going to answer, but there are many people that work daily since years and years on the software that share their experience. So we are done. I hope really that you have a great time. It was cool.
Awesome. Thank you for doing this. This was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. This will be recorded and you can view it later. Have a good
yes,
day.
one thing, I will write the write-up of this session, and I will post the link in the Core Lightning community. So if some of you are interested.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony. Have a good day,
Thank you,
everyone.
guys. See you next.